Hey guys, this is the other side of the bridge where I've shown you earlier with the sunrise. Now let's see that again. Right, so that's a sunrise at one side of the bridge. Then that's a backwater again, and this is another backwater that you're seeing. And you know what, I couldn't resist showing myself to show that I'm actually here. How nice does it feel? How nice does it feel in the morning when you're actually cycling around and its location is like this? I don't think you would feel tired of this no matter how many times you've seen it. Let's move on now. Hey guys, good morning to you all. After a long time, I waited for this moment so that I can actually review the Emotorad bike that I have with me here. This has been with me for about 3 odd months now, right? It's a beautiful bike. I am proud of investing on this. The reason is we buy so many things, right? We buy so many things and there is a reason attached to it, right? So why are we buying those things? Are we buying a quality product? Are we not buying a quality product? And things like that. Now when you come about why should you have, if you want to go cycling, why do you want to have a, okay, before we jump onto the bike, let me show you the location, right? Look at this awesome location. So please excuse me if I am actually bragging about locations whenever I am trying to do a video, because it is a kind of a feel when you go in the mornings and you're not crossing through that concrete jungles, but you're surrounded by nature. You can't just have enough of it, right? So I just want you guys to feel what I'm feeling, or at least see what I'm seeing. Right now, let's come back to this. Now, why do you need a electric bicycle when you want to do exercise? Right now, I'm definitely not a lazy guy, but I'm not crazy too, right? Now when I'm saying crazy, age is one factor. How fit you are, you would know by yourself about your body, you would know better than anybody else. So I think I can do cycling without an electric motor attached to it, but I really don't want to go crazy overboard, and you go to a distance and then you struggle, okay, can I actually make it back home, and things like that. So you preserve your energy for later. So what this guy does is, let me introduce you to the Emotorad bicycle. This is the base version of Emotorad, right? And I will not go into how much amp is the battery and all that, but I will tell you how long does it hold. Right now, then when we come to the bike, right, this is a decent bike. It's a hybrid model, right? Seat is adjustable. I am a 5'11". I comfortably sit with my shoulders completely leaned onto the bike, and it's very comforting. And I think I've done about 75 kilometers in one stretch on this. Okay, now I'll explain you what do we have here. Now we have here what you call as the ignition, right? So you turn that on. Now it is off. Okay, we turn that on. Now there is a switch over here, right? So do you see that? Yeah, there it is. Now it's on 1. Okay, and you can switch it to 2, 3, 4, 5. The speed can go up to 5 levels. Now when I say speed, it doesn't mean your gearbox in a bike. Okay, so what it means, going on a higher speeds, right? 1 through 5. So if you want to compare this with a bicycle that you use in a gymnasium for a cardio, it's completely opposite, right? You want to increase the intensity level, you go on a higher number on a gymnasium bike. Like if you go through 1 to 5, the toughness of you pedaling would increase, right? Here the higher you go, right, the pedal assist. So now what you call is basically, see, this is the throttle, right? So I'll show you. Okay, so this is the throttle. Now if I actually do this, right, see, look at that, I'm not even pedaling yet, right? Not even pedaling, right? So you can actually sit comfortably on it. So this is going up to 25 if you do not pedal at all. Without pedaling, this would reach about 25, and no matter which gear it is. The only thing is that what the gear does is, the higher you go on the gear, okay, the lesser you have to, the pedal will feel lighter, right? You don't have to use a lot of pressure. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on your leg. The pedaling would be smooth as the gear goes up, right? So the minute the bicycle feels that it is slowing down, or you need some assistance, it would kick in. So you would not even feel that you are kind of pedaling, right? So you keep your legs keep moving, and that support kicks in. And for example, if there is a steep road that you have to actually climb, then you would actually go through it with a lot of ease if you keep it at a 5. You would put little pressure if you come down to 4, and similarly if you come to the first gear, then you would feel that pedal assistance is really very less at that point in time. Yeah, so when I say pedal assist, right, so you would not actually feel tired the higher you put it on the higher speed or higher gear, however you want to refer it. And now you wouldn't feel tired in the sense you would definitely sweat when you're pedaling. So it's like the higher you go, basically I would say the 5 times you have to pedal with a higher intensity, you would do the same thing in about one cycle, right? One pedaling cycle. Now that is one thing. And second thing is, see, this has got disc brakes both in the front and the back. Okay, very good, very comfortable braking. I did not feel any sort of discomfort or distrust on it yet, because it did perform really well, even on a rainy day when I was on the road. It did do a great job. Now there are shocks in the front. Okay, the bottle holders came along with it. I think the guy was generous. He gave it to me. Basically, normally they would ask for a additional price for it. Now here, the battery that you have, the biggest advantage of this bike is, I've seen a lot of bikes before I went for this. Now these bikes were going from I think some basics were at 5,000, and then 5,000 to it went to about 3.5 lakhs or something. And I did not have that kind of range in mind, but what I needed was a bike which is compact, which is hybrid, which would have a better posture in riding, the adjustable seats, and the most important thing I wanted was the battery should be detachable, right? Why should the battery be detachable? I guess most of you would understand why should it be detachable. The reason is what happens. No, the reason is, when the battery is detachable, it becomes really easy for you to take it home, charge it while the bike is comfortably placed. So all you have to do is you unlock it from here, right? You unlock it from here, right? You slide this, the battery comes off. Okay, all you have to do is charge it, come back, plug it in, lock the thing, right? Now here you have an on-off switch. This is a kill switch, just like your ignition that you have. Turn it off, you turn it on. There you have the socket to charge, right? You have a socket to charge, and once it is done, then you snap it back in, lock it. So it's basically locked. Nobody could actually steal it from your bike when you parked it somewhere, right? And what did I get extra? So these are not a stock. I bought them. These are not the stock. These are a requirement. I don't think these are an absolute requirement. This is because when you are riding in rain, or when you are on a slushy ground, at that point what happens is this thing actually splashes the entire mud over onto your back. It depends on the speed that you are cruising at. That's one thing. So I bought this for about some 400 rupees or something. The front and the back both comes together. Easy kind of snap-on attachments. Then of course the lock, and then this is something that I bought for the camera, action camera. So that is predominantly to show you where I am, what I am doing, which location am I actually riding my bike. So that's why I have that. And then I forgot, there's this way, which could hold see that, I think there are my car keys and some towel and all that. Okay, I'm not showing you what I'm carrying, I'm showing you what can hold, right? so it can hold a decent amount of stuff. Okay, so now the reason of showing this bike is not that you all need to switch from a normal bike to an electric bike. The reason of showing this bike is one, it is comfortable. You don't want to use the motor, you don't use the motor, as simple as that. You turn this thing off, you just turn this thing off, it becomes a normal bicycle, right? You feel a little bit tired, all you have to do is switch it, turn it on, keep it at 1 and take a little assistance, which is not bad at all when you are tired, right? And of course you have to live to get better the other day, right? You don't have to push yourself to see where you can go and do you actually reach there. We don't want to try that, right? So there's a family waiting back at home, and I sincerely would thank my wife who actually suggested. She actually popped this idea in my head, saying that if you want to actually go for a bicycle, why don't you think at electric? I mean, you want to use it, you can use it. You don't want to use it, you don't use it. As simple as that, right? So if it can help you, then be it. Now we'll come to the price. The price, 3 months ago, what they had was about, I think, 65 or 70,000. Then this one starts at 27. So I think I settled out with the 27k, and no regrets. It's a good deal if you ask me. 27, right? So the how long does the battery go? So what happens is, basically, if you use it only for pedal assist, you can easily do a 65 to 70. At least I did a 70, right? It does give you that if you use pedal assist alone. But if you are going to use a complete and through no pedal at all and only the throttle kind of riding, then I think you would end up somewhere around 20 to 25 on a full charge. I have not tried it though, but the way the battery responds, I think it's a 25, or the best you can do on a straight road would be a 30 is what I think. As far as the speed is concerned, if you actually go on only throttle, 25 is the highest that I could see. But of course, if you put some pedaling through it, and if you are coming down from a rolling down from a bridge, so I think it's about 40 45, but at a 40 it feels solid. And right, it's a lighter vehicle, or you cannot compare it with bikes and speed, right? So this is basically not that kind of thing. So at a 40 45 it was comfortable, braking is good, not a problem. But you kind of slow it down and then come to a halt. You don't just squeeze the brakes all the way. Other than that, it has been a good deal. So what they said is, after 500 kilometers, bring the battery for a service. So I think I'm somewhere around I did not get serviced this thing yet, right? I did not get this serviced yet. Okay, I think the battery is off. See, I killed it. Now, so we are at somewhere around 286 as of now, right? 286. So I do agree that this guy had been at home for past few days, because I bought a V-Storm, like I mentioned in my other video. So we are kind of going crazy over that bike, and for last 3 weeks had been a V-Storm weeks, right? So today I wanted to do this, and this guy deserves attention. And I think what I feel, you should also feel. If you think about your family, if you think that you would need a little assistance, you don't want to look for any help, and you kind of want to exercise, enjoy the nature, enjoy the lovely mornings, this would be an ideal option, right? So I'm not saying please rely on only electric capability of the bike, but it can help when it's needed. A lot of instances we have seen where people trying to work out in the gymnasium, and at certain times you kind of get carried over and some unfortunate stuff happens, right? Which is very unfortunate to hear, that this person wakes up in the morning, he goes on for some workout, and not that it happens with everybody, but being slightly on a safer side would not even hurt, right? That wouldn't hurt. Nobody would term you a lazy guy, but I would not want anybody to call me crazy. And it's as good as you have an insurance. We don't have insurance anticipating something will happen to us. We have an insurance anticipating what if something happens, right? So similarly, this was a one nice suggestion my wife popped into my head, and I think that's one nicest thing that she said, and one most smartest thing as well, right? So I hope she doesn't get mad when I'm saying this, right? So that is all about the bike from me. The reason of introducing this bike is is electric bike really worth it? Is it really difficult to handle it? No, it's not difficult to handle it. The best thing is you have to look for a battery which is which you can take out from the bike for charging, right? Like this one. Consider having a battery if you are going for a bike, or consider having a battery which can be removed so that you can carry it home and charge it. Not everybody have the luxury of having the charging port down where they park their vehicles, but even if you do, then you'll have to keep coming back and forth to plug it in once and plug it off and all that. So one thing is that, and second is the shocks, third is the disc brakes, and most importantly the price range, right? Just these are the comforts that you would get. The cheaper versions, I mean the versions which are lesser than 27k, not in Emotorad but other brands also I have seen, where the batteries are attached to the bicycle, right? So I actually didn't like that kind of concept, right? If you have something, the comfort also plays a vital part. If I am not using it, if my son wants to use it, I don't want him to be looking for a charging port somewhere. So this can be carried at home. We keep it on charge, or we leave it overnight. Basically, I think it would still get charged in about 4 hours time, full charge. And the standby time, this has got a good standby time, right? So see, this is showing about almost like a 90% battery, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 90% battery, and I think we charged it about 10 days ago, and we have not touched the bike yet from last 10 days, and it holds good. So I think that's a good standby time that it has. I don't know as time goes would it hold as good or not, but for a 3 months, 286 kilometers down, a charge after 10 days of non-usage, standby, this is good enough for me for now, right? And what would I expect out of this, right? So I want to say bye from this topic right now, because I've said enough. I hope you would like it. I hope you enjoyed it, and anything more you want to know about the bike, please do comment. I will try to respond, or I'll find and respond if I don't know the answer, right? Thank you for patiently watching.